Walloped by winter weather, ice and snow blanket parts of the country as severe storms strike from Oregon to Maine. And finding ways to be festive and eco-friendly. The holidays often bring heaping helpings of trash. Consider some strategies to cut down on seasonal waste. It is Tuesday, December 16th, and you found your way to the latest edition of CNN Student News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carl Lazouz. First up, the weather outside is frightful, and it's wreaking havoc across parts of the U.S. Record-breaking lows in Oregon, avalanches in Utah, a blizzard in North Dakota. But thanks to early warnings, the damage has been somewhat controlled.
We've had, luckily, only about 4 or 5 calls for service where people have gone into the ditch that have required tow trucks and that sort of thing. So I think with the amount of fair warning or forewarning that we had from the Weather Service and all the weather input, people are actually heeding those warnings and staying put.
Temperatures up in the 50s are helping crews restore power to thousands of residents in the Northeast, but they are fighting against time. The mercury is expected to dip well below freezing later this week.
A word to the wise. Mercury. In addition to being the name of a planet and a Roman god, it's also an element that's used in thermometers to indicate temperature.
Severe weather is striking all over the northern U.S., but what causes these different types of storms? Where are they most likely to occur? Today's learning activity challenges students to research a variety of winter weather events and examine how forecasting can help people prepare for them. Check out this free resource at cnnstudentnews.com. Now, you've seen how hard this severe weather has hit residents in the Northeast, but imagine how tough it can be for those who don't have a home. According to one organization, about 750,000 Americans are homeless on any given night. Brooke Baldwin explores how one program is trying to turn that statistic around.
This is my bedroom.
For many, a bed is simply a place to sleep. For Bridgette Mitchell, this mattress means much more than that.
It's nice to just be able to get in bed and know my kids are safe and we're together. And I mean, it's another one of those things that we just really take for granted.
Looking at this mother of 5 now, many might never imagine this was once her reality.
I was just basically in a situation that was do or die.
The National Coalition for the Homeless estimates there are 3.5 million homeless in America. Mitchell was one of them. No money, no job, no bed of her own.
My name is Jonathan. We're just here to help you, bro, okay?
But groups like the United Way are working to change that. They're taking their mission to the streets in an effort to end chronic homelessness through a Housing First program.
We just want to help you get off the streets and put you into an apartment and just help you get the help that you need.
The idea isn't to send someone to a shelter. Instead, thanks to donations, these workers place people like Larry or Mary in an actual apartment.
When's the last time you had a hot meal?
About 4 days.
After the cars are loaded up,
I'm ready to go.
often the first stop is here. Once Atlanta's old jail, now this facility functions as the largest homeless service center in the Southeast.
This used to be a place that used to hold people. Now it's a place that sets them free.
The message is simple. This is not a shelter.
They're not being kicked out early in the morning. They have a case manager that comes and visits them, takes care of them. There's a nurse, a full-time nurse. So their medical needs are being met. At the same time, we can address their barriers.
The goal, get these people treatment for the issues that put them on the street, help them get a job and eventually their own apartment. But not everyone wants help.
The reality of the situation is with a lot of people, you may come out here with a team and get them and take them to an apartment, but people like Larry could end up right back out here under the I-20 overpass.
Right, and we understand that. We know that, not everybody is going to stay in the programs. If we get 80% or if we can get 8 people to stay out of 10, I think that's huge for us.
Larry is back on the streets, but Mary and 10 others from this most recent outreach effort has remained in the program, a program that Bridgette Mitchell says saved her life.
I would just wish everyone to just really pay attention to the stuff around you, because it can be gone so fast. I mean, illness, any life-changing event can just turn the tables on you so quickly, you know, so just appreciate what you've got.
Bridgette does every night she crawls into bed. Brooke Baldwin, CNN, Atlanta.
Give us all something to think about there. Well, after yesterday's show, I asked you on our blog whether first ladies should be paid. Josh says, unless the first lady holds an actual position in the cabinet, she does not deserve pay. She's not required to do anything as first lady, so she should not receive salary. Mr. Owens' class has agreed, saying the presidency is a constitutional office. Being first lady is not. Besides, we do give first ladies a house, car, airplane, helicopter, Camp David, security. And Megan Marie suggests if the president's spouse gets paid, every stay-at-home mom should get paid as well. But Jessica argues just because first ladies don't get elected doesn't mean they don't work as hard as the president. They work hard and support their husbands and step in where there's a problem. Emily says even if she wasn't elected for the presidency, the first lady is still serving our country and deserves to be recognized. And Rowan argues if it were a man as first lady, he would have been paid years ago. Andrew cracked me up, though. He said first ladies should not get paid. I bet they even get the shoes that are thrown at their husbands. Referring, of course, to this little incident that took place in Baghdad over the weekend. Now, if you've got something to say, tell us on our blog.
Time for the shout-out. The word deciduous is often used to describe what? Is it amphibians, motorcycles, trees, or clouds? Ready, set, go. Deciduous describes something that seasonally sheds, and it often describes trees. That's your answer, and that's your shout-out.
Now, most Christmas trees are not deciduous, but they are part of the pile that we shed at the end of the season, assuming your tree doesn't stay up until April like mine usually does. But think about this. Wrapping paper, cards, the tree. The holidays can generate a lot of waste. Cara Finstrom examines how to make a white Christmas a little bit greener.
Heaps of waste. It's nothing we want to associate with the holidays. But the government says every holiday season, while we're enjoying all of this, we're also generating more waste than we do during any other month of the year. About 5 million tons more waste. So step one to greening your holidays is cutting the waste. And we brought you here to a nursery because one way you can do that is by foregoing the fresh cut tree and the artificial tree, which will have trouble breaking down when it's ultimately thrown away, and opting for one of these, a potted tree. Joining us now is Tom Johnsey with Armstrong Nursery. What's involved with getting one of these?
Well, first thing you want to do a little planning before selecting the tree. You want to know what you're going to do with it afterwards. Some of these trees can get quite large. Like we're looking at an Aleppo pine here. We have Monterey pines. Some of the smaller one here, this little dinky guy today is an Italian stone pine, gets 35, 40 feet tall with an equal spread.
How popular have these been?
These have been very popular. The living trees come in right before Thanksgiving, and we typically sell them very quickly before Thanksgiving and through now. Actually, we just sold one a couple minutes ago.
2 other ways to cut the waste. Instead of using wrapping paper, put your gifts in decorative, reusable bags, or wrap them in brown paper bags or even your kids' drawings. And consider sending at least some of your holiday greetings by e-cards. The government estimates that every year enough of these paper holiday cards are sold in the U.S. to fill a football stadium 10 stories high. You'll not only help cut down on that waste, you'll also save yourself some money in cards and postage. Cara Finstrom for CNN, Los Angeles.
And finally, a holiday tradition that gets them howling at the White House. It is Barney's Christmas video. The dog, not the big purple dinosaur. The terrier is taking viewers on a tour of the festivities during his last holidays at the famous home. The first pet has stolen the spotlight in annual videos for years, wandering the halls, running into celebrities and White House staff, and giving us a ground-level look at all the trees and decorations. Plus, he can probably sniff out all those hidden presents. We just hope he doesn't leave any of his own. See you tomorrow when CNN Student News returns.